Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. In previous video, we have developed the APIs related to article. So these API which we have developed in the previous video, that is add new article, get all article and get all published article. And also we have created the entity that is article and the article repository, and we have written all the queries related to the article. So if you haven't watched that video, then just go to description and check out the link. And you can also check out the playlist so that you can watch from the first video itself. So let's quickly move back to the article REST and develop the remaining two APIs, that is update article and delete article. This video is going to be the last video for the backend. After the next video, we are going to develop the front end part. So let's quickly move back over here, and for the update one, it will be a post mapping. So post mapping, and I'm going to give it a path / update article, and it will return a response entity of type update article, and this one, it will be accept one request mapping or request body, and this will accept article object and save it. It will show one related problem. Why? Because in the article REST impl, we don't have implementation for that one. So hover over this, click on this one and select implement method and select this update article and click on OK. Over here, we will copy this one and paste it over here. Copy the name, paste it over here and call this one over here. And to this one, we have to pass the article. Minimize this one, and here you can see this will show an error. Why? Because in the article service we don't have any update article method. So create method update article in article service. So click on this, and here you can see we are in article service and this method is created. Again, when we save it, it will show one error. Why? Because in the article service the implementation of this one is missing. So if I move back over here, and over here, can you see this implement method, and select this one update article, click on OK, and here we have the implementation for this one. So let's quickly type out the things. So first thing, we need to add the try and catch block. Let me copy all the code from above and paste it over here and remove this one, and copy this one and paste it over here. So now the exception handling is done. After this, press Ctrl Alt L to format things. And one more important thing is, in the previous video, we have changed the port for the testing, right, to 8081. So let me comment this, because we are going to work on port 8080. Either you can comment or you can change this one to 80. Anything is fine. Okay. So let's move back over here. Let me minimize this. And over here, first thing what we are going to do is we are going to check for nulls, which we have written one method. So error key value is equal to article dot check for nulls. We have written this in the previous video. So let me show you that quickly. In the article, we have written this to check the mandatory fields. Okay. Let me move back. Okay. After checking this one, we have to validate that this objects dot is null, should be null. It means that all the required fields are there, and also we have to check in the update case, we have to check for the ID. So objects dot is null, and to this one we will get this article dot get ID. If this is not the case, it means that something is wrong. So in that case, we have to return the message. So else, let me copy this one and paste it over here and change the status code to bad request. And in this one, we will simply return invalid value for, in the brackets, plus error key value plus double quotes close bracket, like this one. invalid value for this one. If this is not the case, it means that we have all the required fields and we also have the ID. In that case, we will simply call article repository dot update article, which we have written the query for this one in the previous video. And in this one, the required parameters is title, content, category ID, publication date, status, and a primary key. That is the ID for that particular record. So we will pass that. So article dot get title, comma, article dot get content, comma, article dot get category ID, comma, new date. We have to also update the date. Article dot get status and article dot get ID. And this query is going to return one integer object that how many records are updated. So I will take that into a variable that is update count is equal to this one. So let me quickly click on this and let me show you the query for this one. So let's go to the article and here you can see this. For the update article set title, content, category ID, publication date, and status on the basis of ID. So this is the query which we have written in the previous video. So make sure you watch the previous one. Okay, let's move back to the article service sample. Over here, after updating it, whenever the suppose one row is updated, in that case, update count will be 1. If nothing is updated, in that case, update count will be 0. So if update count is equal to 0, in that case, we have to return new response entity. And into this one, we have to return slash message // and in this one, article ID does not found. And the status code will be HTTP status not found. Control Alt L to format it. If this is not the case, then what we will do is we will return. Let me copy this one and paste it once again and delete the empty space. Over here, not found, change this one to OK and article updated successfully. Let me delete this one. Successfully and save it. Now let's quickly test this. As our application is running on port 8080, so we have to test it accordingly. Let me open the Postman. Okay, so port 8080 is already in use. So if you got this issue in your system, then what you have to do is search for CMD. And over here, we have option as run as administrator. So click this one. Yes. And over here, we have to run some of the commands. So this is the command that is netstat-ano find str and whatever the port you want to search, you can enter it. So it will show that port 8080 is being used. Okay. It's listening. So what you have to do is you have to kill this particular ID. So let me move back over here and just copy this one, task kill /f/PID, that is the process ID. And you have to type 7052 and hit enter. The process with process ID is terminated. If I try to search for 8080, here you can see this, we didn't get anything. So let me minimize this one and you can like note it down, this particular commands, okay, by pausing the video. Okay, so next thing, move back over here and let's try to run the application and move to the Postman, dismiss it. Okay, here you can see this, now our application is up and port on 8080. So let me clear the console, move back over here, go to the login API. Update user. Yeah, this one. But in previous video, we have changed it to 8081. So let me change it back and send it. so that we can get a token. So let me just copy the token, move to the last one or to this one, add new article. So let me duplicate it. Duplicate tab. Over here, first thing we have to change the token. So bearer token, and we have to delete it and paste it the new one. Port is 8080 this time. Move back over here, and first thing what we have to do is we have to get the path for the same. So that is update article. So copy this one, move back over here, paste it, and in the body we also need the that is the particular row ID. So let me open the MySQL. And let me copy the database name as well. Select star from, okay, show tables first, select star from article /G. So first article I want to modify. Okay, so let me move back over here to the postman, and the ID is equal to 1. I have to put the comma over here. So let me just remove the status first and now send it, and you can see this invalid value for status is there. So now next thing, this is my content, this is my updated content. Category ID will change it to 2, new mobile 2, and send it. And now you can see over here article updated successfully. Now quickly check this into the database. So select a star where ID is equal to 1. So here you can see this is the one ID, this is my content which is the previous one. So this is my updated content. Now the current time published, and the title is new mobile 2 and the category ID 2, but over here the category ID is 1. So category is also updated. It means that our update API is working as expected. Next thing what we have to do is we have to develop one API to delete that article. So now move back over here, article rest, and we are going to write another API for the same. So at the rate get mapping path is equal to /delete article /ID. We have to pass the ID in the path param. So why in the path param? Because without ID we cannot delete any specific records, and ID is mandatory in this case. So that's why whenever we add any value or accept any value in the path variable, then it becomes mandatory to pass it. Without this API will throw not found. So delete article, it will return a response entity of type question mark. So delete article, let me copy this one, paste over here, and it will accept path variable. It will be of type integer ID. This name and this name needs to be same. So make sure that, okay. If you change the name over here, you also need to change the name over here. Delete article. Now move back over here, and over here we have to implement this. So hover over this, click on this one, delete article, click on OK, and here it is implemented. Let me copy this one and paste it over here. Copy this one, paste it over here, pass the ID, and also change in the exception. So hover over this, click on create method delete article. So this will be created over here. It shows one related problem. Why? Because in the article server simple, this method is not implemented. So move back to the article server simple. This one we have. Hover over this, click on implement method, select this one, and click on OK. Let me copy the below part from the above one. Now paste this one and put the try block. Control Alt L to format. Copy this delete article and paste in the exception part. Let me minimize this now. So here we have delete article. The ID is over here, and the exception, whenever something goes wrong, exception in delete article, and the message will be printed. If you want to print whole exception object, just remove this part and save it, and something went wrong. It will print the complete log in the complete exception in the logs, and then return something went wrong to the user. Okay, so first thing over here, we have to check that if that particular ID is not null. So if not objects is null, into this one we will pass the ID. If this is the case, it means that suppose null is being passed. So in that case, what we will do is return new response entity. Into this one we will pass the message. Message that will be invalid value for article ID, and the status code will be bad request, status dot bad request. So when this bad request is, if you want to check the what is the status code for this, you can hover over this one. It will show the status code, that is 400. Okay, Control Alt L to format things. After this, suppose the valid ID is passed. In that case, we have to simply call article repository dot delete article. Into this one we have to pass the ID, and this delete article is going to return the count of that particular deleted record. So integer dot delete count is equal to this one. So we have stored whatever. Suppose with this query 2 records are affected, then it will return 2. If doesn't affected, any record is not deleted, then it will return 0. Okay, so let me show you the query for this one. We have written the query for the same in the previous video. So click on this. Here you can see this. We have added modifying transactional because the data manipulation is being done by this particular query. And if I go to the article on the top, here you can see this. Delete from article where ID is. Whatever the ID we will pass, it will be concatenated over here. So let's move back over there and check if delete count is equal to 0. In that case, what we will do is we will simply return new response entity, and into this one we will return a message colon article ID does not found, and into this one http status dot not found. If this is not the case, it means that update count is greater than 1 or 1. Then in that case, simply return new response entity, and we will return the message. Let me quickly add that. Message and over here we will add article deleted successfully. http status dot OK, and now Control Alt L to format it. Now here the task is done. Next thing, we will restart our application and we will test the delete article. So now our application is up on port 8080. So let me quickly clear the console, move back to the Postman, duplicate the tab, and this time it's a get API. So change this one to get. Body is not required. So change this one to none, and let's quickly copy the name of that particular API. So move back to the project, article rest, and over here we have delete article. So move back over here, change this one to delete article, and try to send it now. So here you can see this one is forbidden. So go over here, bearer token is here, let me pass the ID. So that is 66, which doesn't exist, and try to send it. So here you can see this article ID doesn't found. So if I go over here and let's quickly check this one. So it tries to update the particular record, it returns 0. So it throws article ID doesn't found. So if I go over here, you can check the query. So delete from article hub is executed. Now go to the database and let's check we have how many records. Okay. Select start from article. I'm going to delete the ID 3. So let's quickly go over here. Let me close this one. Go over here to the postman and pass 3 over here. 3 and send it. Here you can see this article deleted successfully. If I go to the database and let's execute again, select start from article. Here you can see this. Now we got only 2 records. Let me try passing null over here. So it means that this delete by ID is working as expected. Let me pass null over here. You can see that this is throwing forbidden. It means that this path is not being identified. It is compulsory to pass some teaser values. So if I try sending the random number, article ID doesn't found. So it means that this one is working as expected. So let me move back over here. So all the APIs related, all the backend tasks which we have to do is related to this project, Article Hub is done. So from next video, we are going to see how to develop the Angular part for the same application. So just stay tuned, subscribe and share with your friends. Thanks for watching.